Sylvanian Family Values Do-It-Yourself Wooden Floor with Andrew Bowen. That's me. Now, I know from my comments section from some of my animations that some of you were quite impressed with the realistic wooden floors and wanted to know how I did them. So, in this video, I am going to show you how. Okay, so this is what you need in order to make the floor. You need a ruler, which is about 30 centimeters long or 12 inches, a scorer, this is something that doesn't cut the paper but it makes a groove, and a variety of paints of different browns or yellows, and finally you need some varnish. Just standard varnish is fine. Okay, and of course the paper that you will be using. Okay, this is just standard craft paper. Okay, so the first thing that we have to do is score the paper. Usually I do it about half a centimeter apart for each line. Although if you're doing this for a smaller scale, like for 1/60 scale, maybe do it for every 3 or 4 millimeters, but actually it doesn't make too much difference. And of course, if it was a larger scale like 1/12, then it may be better to do it about a centimeter for the gaps. Okay, and now I have scored all the lines on there. You can see it hasn't cut the paper, but we have these marks. You can see that all fine. I'll just change the focus one moment. Is that better? So you can see all the little marks on the paper. Okay, now we move on to the brushing part, the dry brushing part, where I put some paint on here. Now with this, you only want to put on a little bit of paint. There we go. And then you just put a little bit on there. Don't worry too much about it, you're just putting on a tiny amount. And you do this with each colour. A bit of this now. Well, that's gone wrong. Never mind, but you've put a bit of a darker colour on. So I've made there. I'll just put on a different type of brown now. Don't worry too much about where it goes, it's just put on little bits. I'll try to get a bit on the edge as well. And also this yellow colour as well, just to lighten some areas, especially the area where I put an awful lot of the brown. Okay, so it's almost there. It looks maybe a little bit of a mess at the moment. I might just put on a little bit more brown, and then we'll go on to the next stage. And now we are on our final stage, where we use the varnish. Okay, this works very well. It just fills in all the little gaps where where we did the scoring, so we'll make it look like we've got planks on the floor. Okay. So it's very simple, we just have this very carefully, and you put it all over the paper. And also it will give it a shiny look, such as polished wooden floor. You can also see that even the bits that don't have paint on start to have this dark look, and it helps to mix in the paints when you apply the varnish. Okay, so we'll start putting all of this on. Okay, and now I have applied the varnish to the floor. Okay, so we can see that the paper absorbs for varnish, especially the areas where you didn't paint, so it makes it look darker. And the other parts where you added paint, it gives a change in colour for the floor. Okay, so now this is the floor. What we have to do now is let the varnish dry, and then later on we put books on top of it to flatten it out, and then it can be used to be put on top of a cardboard to make a wooden floor. Okay? Okay, what I have done here is I have used glue to stick the floor to some cardboard, and to help it to stick to the cardboard I have weighed it down with books. This will also keep the floor flat so it doesn't bend or anything. Okay, and here is the final product. Okay, it is a nice shiny wooden floor with the cardboard that's been stuck to the back of it. Okay, and you can use that for role-playing games or for Sylvanian families. And we can see that this floor works well with 1/60 scale characters for role-playing, and it also works very well for Sylvanian families. And what do you think of the floor, Susie?
I like it very, very much!
Okay, Susie, that's enough. Right, Susie, stay still. Right, okay. Right, Susie, that is enough of that. If you want to spin around, you can do it in your own time, but not on my show, okay? Goodbye.